Hi Flosstube. This is Chrissy, finally a farm girl, and this is my Flosstube number 5. Believe it or not, doesn't sound like a lot to many, but I wasn't quite sure I would survive number 1. So to be at Flosstube number 5 is a big thing. I wanted to say thank you to those that have given me shout outs. I've thanked a few before, but this week I was honored to have a shout out from Hollis Hands Creates. It was nice to see that she is moved and settled, and yes, still some boxes, but she's back to stitching. And I believe she's about ready to reopen her Etsy shop. I also got a shout out from Bumble Stitches, and I love watching her floss tubes as well, so that was a nice surprise. And Creatively Yours and I believe Smoky Mountain Stitches. They're actually Florida girls, and I really enjoyed them. They were quite fun to watch and to see what they were stitching, and they had some fun finishes, and I hope that maybe one day I will get to meet them. So I'm in a different spot. This is not my sewing room. There's some transition going on around here, and I will share that another time. My iPad is flipped around, so I got used to looking at one side, and now I've got to look at the other, so we're just going to see how well I can adapt. Okay, so like I said, in a different room, you can see some of the other stitches. This is actually my family room, and those are really old. That is Barbara Bourgeau Richards. She was in Michigan, and she did paintings, and then she turned some of them into cross stitch, so I can get a close-up of those another time. They're very old. And then you can see Shepherd of Veer over there. This is my sampler wall normally, but I have a few pieces down, so I will show some of those later on. And I'm going to call this floss tube Cuteness Overload, and you will see why, and I will share it at the very end, because you should always save the best for last. Okay. So let's see here. Oh, and I should say I watched Lancashire Stitching, and congratulations to her on her new finishing business, as well as she has a new grandbaby. So I do enjoy watching her. And one other that I didn't want to miss, I was really blessed to watch Lori Brecklin from Not Forgotten Farms with her mom, who I believe she said is 90, and just moved in with her not too long ago, and she shared how her mom, well, you know what, you should go watch it. You will be blessed to, there is just something sweet about a mother-daughter stitching team, and they definitely fit that. So anyways, if you go to her, I would think it's her most recent floss tube, you will see her mom sitting with her, and that's how you know that that's the one. But anyways, Lori and her mom, if you're watching, you definitely blessed me this week. That was very sweet to see. Okay, whips. See, this is weird. I feel like I'm looking in the wrong direction. Okay, so whips. I will say that I did not finish what I wanted to finish, and that was my secret stitch, my most recent secret stitch, because I have one waiting for me to do that I've shown you the linen and the threads, and I'm really excited. The secret stitch that will get released first it's just stitches away. But last week when I thought I would be finished, I thought I would be able to stitch what was left faster than I did. And what's left is a little more detailed, so it isn't something I pick up and stitch during the day. So I will show you. Let's see if I can find a good spot. Oh, I know. Okay, so I shared a picture on Instagram of how I took, let's see, part of this, and she had little spools of thread. This is Twin Peak Primitives, and I went ahead and just used a satin stitch on the threads, and I really like that. I think it's really nice to add some dimension to your piece, whether you don't always have to, but whether it's with French knots or if the opportunity presents itself, that's not a hard stitch, and it just makes it look like a true spool of floss. So this will, I am down to, like I said, I'm down to the finishing stitches, but these flowers here are gorgeous. 2 blues, 2 golds, a green. It doesn't seem difficult, but something in it, I stitch slowly on them. So it'll be worth the wait. Trust me, it'll be worth the wait. But that is what kind of pushed everything aside, because I got myself to the point I wouldn't let myself stitch on anything else but that, except during the day. Okay, so, and I'll share that because that was actually a finish, so that can be next or last. Okay, modern folk embroidery. You see this every single time. And this is the 2021 stitch along. My 2 colors are the DMC 924, 926, and I'm stitching it on 28 count Jobelin lamb's wool. I say every single time how much I love this stitch, and I do. I don't think I had any of the flower in last time over here. So this was January, February's in the middle, March is over here, and April is out. So I am still in the game. I loved doing the flower pot. I've only got a little bit at the bottom, and then I will get a start on April. And the way I treat it is, as long as I've got some of April's stitches in April, I'm in the game, and I just keep on going. So that is modern folk embroidery. Maybe I can get you a little closer, but it is something that it's hard to explain. It seems like it would be maybe a little stressful to stitch, but it's really not. It's really quite relaxing. And I have been looking at maybe picking up one of his Christmas pieces at some point, just even during the holidays, even if I don't finish it. But I've noticed he has a couple of them that are Christmas themed, and they're really pretty. So I imagine if one is fun to stitch, so is the other. So, and then I found in the vault a hidden whip that I had never shared, and I feel like I've known her forever now, but this is a Threadwork Primitives pattern, and it's by Nan Lewis. It's called Wandering Heart, and I am stitching this on, hold on 1 second here. It's a little different. It called for a Dirty Rose linen, and I found a Dirty Rose by Fabric Flare. So you can tell it's Fabric Flare. It's kind of like white on the back, but here's my progress. Again, I feel like I'm peeking backwards, but, oh, that was the dog that burped. If that isn't real life, I don't know what is. Thanks, Maggie. So anyways, the wording says, bind my wandering heart to thee. Again, another really good reminder. This is very soft to stitch on. I kind of question Fabric Flare because they called it a linen, but I'm considering it that it's like an Aida. It's really hard to explain. I'm not crossing 2, so that to me means it's Aida, but I'm just gonna leave it with, I like it, I love the color, I am enjoying it just the same, Aida or linen. I just was trying to get a clear idea because I would like to use it again. It feels like a linen. So anyways, maybe if you've ever worked with it before, you know, but I know for a fact I'm using 1 thread and I'm going over 1. So anyways, again, this was on the Dirty Rose, and it's called Wandering Heart by Threadwork Primitives. and there's not really that much to do, so I should one day just make myself get that finished. Okay, so I stitched on the secret stitch, I stitched on Jacob's, I stitched on, I didn't stitch on that whip. And then during the day, I started with, I started with, her name is Tina, and you all know her from, I used to know her and will always remember her from Emily Ann's Closet. So I have known her for years, and we have become good friends and special friends. We both share children who have special needs, and when I first met her, she was a massive quilter, and she's an incredible stitcher, incredible quilter, and an incredible friend. So we decided, and this was where I got kind of messed up, the Flosstube 1 or 2, where I had found the Hands Across the Sea, Emily Ann Foster. And I was talking also about Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. So you can see where, because I'm used to Emily Ann's Closet, which is, anyways, Tina, and she goes by a different one now, and I always forget why. Why can't I just remember? 1 second here. I'm just so used to her popping up all the time. One moment, please, while I enter Instagram world here. Because I'm gonna say it wrong. For the Love of the Stitches. I always want to call it For the Love of Stitches. For the Love of the Stitches. And she was Emily Ann's Closet. Anyways, and Emily Ann's Closet was named after her daughter Emily Ann, who does have special needs, and we kind of just, she reached out to me, and that has to be, I want to say 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and we've been friends ever since. So she was going to stitch this in honor of her daughter, and did, and finished, and was going to change the name. I stitched it, leaving it as is. Let me see if I can get something behind it. I'm out by my sliding glass door, so sometimes there's a glare. So I stitched this during the day. Like I've told many of you, because of my son, a lot of times I won't stitch anything that has incredible detail, especially a model stitch, unless it's just straight stitching during the day. I wait until night when he's asleep. But this one, so this is my second red work in a couple of weeks, which is just as thrilling. The first one was Whilst Iris Naps. I finished that one and showed you where I wasn't going to do a finish. I just laid it across and shared my picture of the display on Instagram. And this one, by Hands Across the Sea, Emily Ann Foster, 1892, I stitched with Classic Colorworks Belle Soie. So let me see if I can do this again. It changes, it's variegated. See if you can see the variegation in there. The Whilst Iris Naps, I used Dracula by Color and Cotton, and that was awesome. And then this is very similar, except it is your silk. And I think this was my first time using Belle Soie Classic Colorworks, so it was really, really nice to work with. Really soft, I mean, like really soft. So I was pleased to have a finish this week, even though I really was, my main finish didn't get finished, and that just kind of happens. But this one was, I've got cats behind me now. I wanted to get on that. Okay, so that was whips. And I'm, like I said, stitches away from finishing the other one, and hopefully that'll be by tonight. But that did not stop me from haul. And on haul, I want to start with, I was so excited for Monica's stitching. I have followed her for, again, I think she's probably one of the first first Instagram accounts that I followed with cross stitching. Oh, they're gonna get in trouble. Look at them. Okay. That's Kronk. He's older. And the other one is the kitten. Hold on while I save my stitching. Hold on. Okay, I just want this back, okay? Oh, and now the dog breath. Okay, everybody's just making their presents. No, give it back to me. Oh, okay. This may not be the best solution here, out here. Okay, Monica Stitching, congratulations. She designed her first pattern, and I am so proud of her that within 2 seconds of me seeing her post, I did go ahead and go out to her Etsy shop. And her Etsy shop is called Monica Stitching Studio, and this was her first design. And I think it's great. And Monica, I'm really proud of you because I know that takes courage to do. So how cute is that for a patriotic stitch? It's called Freedom, and I think this would be a great one for summer, obviously. And at the same time, I enjoy watching, very much so because I love her taste, Daisy K's Primitives. She shared a basket of smalls, and one caught my eye. And she helped me find it because I didn't find it at first. It's on Etsy, it's a download, and it's Country Rustic Primitives. So, let's see if I can get it in close to you. I thought it would go cute with Monica's as well. And I believe it's called Toy Soldier. So this is Etsy shop, Country Rustic Primitives. Let me see if I can get the actual. This is called the Toy Soldier Pillow Tuck. So 2 really fun smalls to have for the 4th of July or the summer. Okay, now I've said before that I enjoy eBay and Etsy just like everybody else does. Something I've gotten in the habit of doing is I was looking for some Lizzie Kate smalls. Believe it or not, I've never stitched a Prairie Schooler and I've never stitched a Lizzie Kate. They're messing with the patterns. And I want to rectify that this year. So I have been collecting, and this is just one of them. When I find them on eBay, the Lizzie Kate Santas. Those are my favorite, and I think they'd be like a fun weekend stitch. So this one I was able to get, and it's nice because I can get them for $1 or $2. Anyways, so this one is Friends Make the Holidays Merry, and I like the bunny. See it? And I really like Lizzie Kate's Santas. So I think this is my 4th one that I have. Again, affordable, just nice. They don't take a lot of space. And I can whip them out anytime I want, and they're just cute. Okay, then I don't remember who shared their finish on Flosstube, and I wish I did, so please forgive me, but it was so breathtaking. I took my eyes off you, and I ended up ordering the Liberty House Needleworks. Oh, there's a glare. Lantern Lane, and this does not do this any justice. That house and this stitched up is gorgeous. I literally hit pause. I don't do that very much, and went on a hunt, and at the same time, it was the same Etsy shop. I like this one too, and I hadn't seen it before. I've seen a few of these. So I ended up with 2 of the Little House Needleworks. This is their division, it's Tumbleweeds, a division of Little House Needleworks. This is called American Frontier. And I think that's just kind of sweet. It's still patriotic. I love the houses and the plantation, so those came together. I had more haul than I think progress this week. Okay, another little collection I have going on is, and I have a couple of my mom's, but somehow on eBay, I got to looking at these homespun elegance, the cinnamon stick Santas. Now, Brenda Sampler Stitch has one of hers she shares at Christmas that's on a big pillow, but of course you can finish them any way you want. And so I've been trying to collect those as well. They're not terribly expensive on eBay, and I love how they look. So this one is cinnamon stick colonial Santas. So this guy is so awesome. So I won't probably make him a big pillow, but I think that what I will do is eventually I may have a Christmas wall that I just leave up somewhere. Not sure. I'll probably run out of walls one day, but I love these. And so one day I'll share, I think I'm up to like 3 or 4 of them. And they look like a good fun stitch. Okay, and then, let's see here. Twin Peak Primitives they are always very generous with their freebies. A lot of designers are, but Twin Peak Primitives seems to consistently put something out there. And this one popped up. I believe it was like Easter right after, but anyways, it's called Welcome. And I quickly grabbed that. I love the Saltbox House. I probably won't stitch Welcome. I'll probably make it into a little pillow and just, I want this for sure, but I think I might stick with that and make it a small pillow. I like that. I like that a lot. So that was fun. Freebies are fun. Okay, and then I do not have a terrible amount of project bags. I have project bags that my mom had made. I have a couple from Diddly Daddle Designs. I love her work. And I also have one from Christy, Crosshatch Quilts. Hers are quilted and beautiful. But this one caught my eye. I believe Brenda and Laura may have each gotten one, but this is by Stitch Folk. And all I did was went to follow her, and she had just sold some of these. And it's got the sampler pattern on it. I think Brenda and Laura got one like this. But she adds this pretty lace. And then with hers, you get, and you probably already saw this, but I don't have any of these. So this is her card. Hello, Stitch Folk. Her name is Berry Hamby. And then you have, I've never had one of these before, where you can put your little pieces of floss and it sticks to this like flannel, and you don't lose your little spare scraps that you want. It's not like Ort size where you throw it away, but it's something decent you can keep. So I was excited to have one of these because I've never had one before, and her work is so nice, so sweet. So I have a new project bag for something special, I'm sure. I'm not sure what that is yet. I did start to put together and kit up my Blackbird Designs A Mother's Honor Do, but I did not have, believe it or not, I did not have two of the floss you need, because I was going to start that Easter. I thought even if I got a few stitches in and then put it down, but I didn't have the floss that it called for all of that. So that might be a really good project bag for that. Talking about Blackbird Designs, I like the idea of Brenda and Laura were talking about the Blackbird Design once a month. I think it's the first weekend of the month where you just stitch along, and basically that weekend you work on any Blackbird Designs project. And I like that because I have only stitched one Blackbird Designs pattern, and I don't know why. And I recently started making sure I'm getting most of all the patterns, but the only one I've stitched, I'll get it next time it's up high, is Sunflower House. And I love it. My mom stitched it too, but I've never stitched another Blackbird Designs, which is probably gonna make everybody gasp, the same as Prairie Schooler. But before Flosstube, to some degree, you just didn't, if you didn't have a local needle shop, which I moved away from one years ago, you really didn't get an idea of the designers that were out there. So anyways, we're now buying all the blackbirds, and I am ready to start my second one with the Mother's Honor Do, and I think that'll be a nice bag. Okay. One of the viewers asked me to, originally when I recorded in my stitching room, she asked me to share the 3 stitches that were behind me on the wall that were Twin Peak primitives. So what I did was I brought down all of my Twin Peaks that I could show you an up close and personal look. Hold on one second here. I'll start with, and then I can give you the names, because earlier this year I did a trunk show at my local needle shop, Brick City Cross Stitch. So that was really fun. And I took all my pieces up there. Hold on one second here. So this was one of them that was behind me. Let's see if I can, there you go. And this is Teresa's Farm. Now, I just did not stitch the border, and I did not stitch Teresa's Farm. I just kind of made it my own. Now, all the colors are pretty much, they're not exactly what she called for. I always change my red. I can tell you that's a DMC 815. Many of the colors are what she calls for, Twin Peak Primitives called for, but I know I changed a few. You see that there? I love those barn quilts. That is why I stitched it. Anyways, and I never worry about the color of like chickens. I never worry about, if I want to stitch it the color the designer has, great. If I don't, I don't. I can tell you, I'm pretty sure the picket fence in this was white and I wanted brown. So these patterns are fun to play around with colors. You really can't go wrong. And they're such a joy to stitch when they have nice big chunks of grass. That is my favorite part about Twin Peaks. So that is Teresa's Farm, and I modified it. All right, the next one. This is a small one, Liberty Lane. And again, I removed the border because I had this frame from my old needle shop years ago down in Palm Beach Gardens. So this frame I had for, I think it was an old garden pattern. And I don't have a green thumb, like at all. It's basically brown. So I wouldn't stitch that now. But this, if I took the border off, fit perfectly. And this here, I hope you can see the detail. It's like an old tractor in there. It is so cute. And I did put French knots on the flag. And this black house is awesome. The only thing I would have liked is I didn't dye. This is on a 28 count even weave. Just for a while, I just used what Hobby Lobby had, and I always coffee dyed it. I wish I had dyed it a little more because my sheep don't show up. But again, this is a really fun stitch and a quick stitch. And the border's gorgeous, it wouldn't have fit. Okay, this one, this one is called the Morgan Pumpkin Farm Pumpkin Patch. And they actually did design this around our farm. And our, this is our pig pickles. And you could change it any way you want. My daughter stitched this as well. And she just removed the lettering from the barn, I believe. But anyways, the blues are, I used pretty much all the called for on this, the blues. And the only thing I might have changed was the barn color, maybe to 815. But, and again, this is just same thing, 28 count even weave from Hobby Lobby that I dyed. Okay, this is a big one. This is Sweet Land of Liberty those others I framed myself. This one I actually did take to Hobby Lobby. This is one of the biggest ones. I absolutely loved the border on this one. And just from every aspect, I mean, I couldn't love it anymore. From the whale, and that one, I know I changed the floss on this because that was a dyed floss, and it worked out gorgeous. Oh, let's see if I can get you any closer. That gold barn, the primitive gold, and she's so good with her weeping willows. But this piece, I love this. And I think I might have taken off a few chickens. I might have forgotten one, but no biggie. Okay, so that is Sweet Land of Liberty, Twin Peak Primitives, and the same thing, 28 count even weave. I think I only have one more from that wall because you've already seen the Christmas. And then there's this one. And this is the fall sampler. And I just like the same. I leave it up all year. It might, I mean, obviously you can make it fall, but there's always something to be thankful for. Okay, so that showed you all of those. And I think we're down to the best part. I wanted to share this right away and I haven't had a chance to. One day on Instagram, I shared a picture of my mom's sewing badge. My dad gave it to me. And this was what she would wear if she went to a stitch in, a hook in. She did a lot. I don't think she never made it to the attic. We wanted to go to the attic. We wanted to go to Dying to Stitch. There was a lot we were really had on our radar. But she did have her badge, and she did participate in a lot of things. So this was her badge. And if you take a good look, I fell in love with this. I've always liked little mice, especially at Christmas. I think I've shared many pictures. I always have a little Christmas mouse. The Twin Peak Primitives Patriotic Christmas Eve, I asked Nerdan if she could add a mouse on the clock, and she did. I don't know why. I think they're just sweet. So I reached out to a long-term friend on Instagram who makes little critters. And her name is Betty Kogler. I'm not exactly sure if I pronounce it right, but she goes by Betty Stitches on Instagram. And maybe a lot of you have seen her, possibly not, but I used to watch a few needle felting, and I'll follow them. They're adorable. But anyways, this is her card. And she makes some of the sweetest little guys. So there's, just in case you couldn't read it. And on Instagram, it's BETTIS_stitches. You're going to want to know it. Okay. I asked her if she could reproduce a stitching mouse for me to have in my sewing room, just in honor of Mom, and just the fact that it just, I don't know, we need cute things in stitching rooms, right? She blew me away. So I'm going to introduce to you. She recommended that they all have names. She makes sure that they travel safely and that they're behaving, which I just get a kick out of all that. But this is her. Let's see if I can get her good enough. I needed a name, and look at her needle. See that? She's got it threaded. Little scissors. So I told her that I wanted to make sure that I wanted her to possibly sit on a tomato, because obviously we all love our vintage tomatoes. So she designed this. goes with that. And then, as if that wasn't enough, now my mom was a quilter. She's got her little sewing basket. And then she's got her little floss basket. I just can't tell you how adorable. And then a wee little tiny spool. So I knew she was the one to go to have something, and maybe eventually we'll have a mister, or maybe there will be, I think a fall one would be cute to have out, but she just, I think she's precious. And I think I wanted to share her first, and then I'll find a way to display her, but I mean, the details are incredible. She's got little pantaloons on. Sorry, that's private, isn't it? But anyways, I love this kind of stuff. And the needle was separate, and she just like stuck it through her little hand. So, not that I needed any more, but I think when I see this, little things make me happy, and that's okay, because we all need that kind of stuff. So anyways, it made me happy. And if you would, even just give her a follow, and you can see the things that she makes. But she knew I wanted something that would, I don't know, settle in my room, that made me think of my mom. And I knew I wanted a stitching mouse of some sort, and the tomato, and she'd never made one before, and I think she did great. So anyways, I'm probably blabbering on about that, but I always feel so overwhelmed and grateful when somebody takes what you ask them to do and they give it 150%. And why this mouse means a lot to me, I don't know, I couldn't tell you, but she just does. She just does. So thank you, Betty, for doing this. And thank you, everybody, for being patient. And I usually was trying to do this once a week. I will tell you there's some fun stuff going on around here, and I'll share that another time. So I hope everybody has a good week. I hope that you got to see things that you wanted to see. I know that May 1st is right around the corner, and that is going to be our Twin Peak Primitive Stitch Along for the first Thanksgiving. That's the kickoff. Anybody can join. Anybody can ask to be invited to the Twin Peak Primitives Facebook page. On May 1st, that's a Saturday, I'm going to go up to Brick City. They're hosting the like official start at her shop, and it's all full. So anyways, it's going to be a fun time, and I will hopefully take a video that day. I would like to take a video of 10 ladies around the table all stitching on the same thing. I think that would be really cool. And so that is May 1st. The May 1st is also prom, so I will be scooting up to Ocala and then turning around and scooting right back to get some prom pictures. And my dad's birthday is April 26th, so happy birthday to my dad, almost. I think that's it. I think I need to get stitching. Doesn't it seem like you're getting to stitching later because of the time change? I think that's might be happening to me too. I feel like I'm not getting as much stitching done. And maybe that's because it seems like Philip's going to sleep later, maybe not. Either way, I kind of thought I would have more progress to show you on some, but at the same time, I had a finish, and I now can take it and get it framed. And I also have, well, that's going to be my daughter. I also have the finish that'll come up that I'll be done with in the next day or two, Twin Peak Primitives, which again, as soon as that's done, I will probably pop on with another Flosstube as soon as it's released, so that I can show it to you up close and personal and share the story. So anyways, let's see here. Look what they did. That's not okay, is it? All right, bye Flosstube. I'm sorry this was crazy again. I hope that you'll join me next time.